Oh, no, no, no. Now we back. All right. So, hello, good people, and welcome to Happy, Healthy, Whole with Sharea. I am Sharea, and this week we are talking collective care as resistance. I am so glad to continue this journey that we've been on and that we'll be on for the next 4 weeks around emotional health and collective care in today's America. We talked last week about grounding techniques. This week we'll focus on collective care as a resistance, which is about moving beyond self-care and embracing the power of community healing. This is something that I love to talk about and I love to incorporate in my conversations around self-care themselves. And so let's explore how you can lean in and strengthen yourself in your community together. Self-care is important, but it is not enough. That is going to be my first statement of truth to you. The idea that we can handle everything alone is rooted in this system that thrives on individualism and burnout. In contrast, collective care is about systems that thrive and come together and create safe spaces and ensure no one carries this burden on their own. Honestly, Black communities have long embraced collective care, healing through churches, mutual aid, and family support networks. This practice is our legacy, and we have to be able to revisit our legacies in the moment and in the reality of now. It is more critical than any other time in history for us to learn from what has worked. And this is the truth. So let's reflect on some community healing traditions that have sustained Black communities for generations. And I want you to know that if you haven't ever heard any of this on my channel, let's go back, visit some of my discussions around self-care. They always include a method of community care within them and or support and care, meaning that you need people around you in an environment that nurtures your healing, even if you are calling it self-care, right? So let's talk about those first things. And if you don't know already, I am a therapist by trade. And so the first one that I'm going to talk about is one of the things that I do professionally when working with clients is really called narrative therapy. But when it comes down to the actual community healing practices rooted in Black tradition, it's going to be storytelling. This is the authors, this is the musicians, this is the rappers, this is the people in our community that share our experience and connect it to us, validating our struggles and fostering healing within it. Whether it's through spoken word, writing, or music, our stories have power. So share your voice. This is going to be the first way for us to come together and to be able to sustain what's going on in this world right now. The second thing is our spiritual and faith-based supports, whether through Black churches, mosques, and other ways of traditional spirituality. We also can incorporate meditation, group and ancestral rituals that are about supporting our spiritual self. Spirituality has long played a part in strengthening us collectively. Whichever practice that you do, you don't have to do it alone. And knowing that you have these communities of support spiritually and faith-based can help you to be your best self. This is the truth. So the last thing, and I've talked about this before, is mutual aid networks. From the civil rights movement's grassroots organizations, mutual aid talks about or brings about where we as a community share resources and support others. And we demonstrate that support so that all of us can thrive, not just one of us. So we're going to move from this space of I have to figure it out. I have to do it all on my own to a space that we are sharing resources and we are offering each other the support to be able to thrive. So this is something that has traditionally worked and can work moving forward. So how do we create emotional space in our circles? How do we practice collective care in our everyday life is really what I'm saying here. Here's a few ways that we can think about this. How often are we checking in on each other? Check in regularly. Think about a simple text or call can remind a person that they are not alone. Hold space for each other. Sometimes healing requires us to listen, and sometimes that's listening without judgment. And excuse me, all it should be that way all the time. Sorry. You should be listening without judgment and having the need to fix it. Sometimes I just need to share. And then collaborate for support, whether that's through sharing childcare, emotional support groups, a financial assistance. We can create structures where we uplift each other, and we do it in a way that is also about saying that we thrive when we do this together. Collective care is going to be our secret power, our form of resistance that says that you will not knock us down and you will not take us out. The full reality of this moves us from self-care to actual collective care, which requires us to interlock and to be stronger together. That's just the truth of the matter. So this week, I want to do a Black History fact around reaching out to someone or asking for support and maintaining support. Before we close, it's an honor for me to think about it and to really think about it from the perspective of incorporating Black history into our Black churches, our mosques, and being able to incorporate both mental health and mutual aid. Since enslavement, Black churches have been a sanctuary for spiritual and emotional healing. It's it has provided not only a faith base, but also a community service and education and activism. The legacy behind us is also something that we must participate moving forward. The legacy reminds us that collective care is not just about survival, it's also about thriving together. I use that example with the Black church, but we can also look at some other collective methods like NAACP, Black mosques. We can look at Black Muslims. We can look at the different ways that spiritually we were able to incorporate and evolve our strength and do it together. All right, y'all. Like I said, for the next 4 weeks, starting last week, this being week 2, we are going to talk about emotional health and collective care. And so next week, we will be talking specifically about, well, no, actually, we're going to talk grief and trauma in a changing society. Y'all be well.